Physical death and the shedding of blood is required for salvation, for the sending away of sins, more specifically. Hebrews chapter 9, verse 22 talks about this. And according to law, almost all things are purified with blood, and without the shedding of blood, there is no remission. Well, your word remission there literally means there is no, there's no forgiveness. That's actually your word for forgiveness. Physical death is the payment for Adam's sin. Romans chapter 5 and verse 12 says, therefore, just as through one man sin entered the world, and the death through sin, and thus death spread unto all men, not because all sin, not because you individually sin. That's not actually the right way to translate this. This is on the basis that all have sinned at a point in time. That's going back to Adam. Now you can see this in the context. For until the law, sin was not in the world, but sin is not imputed where there is no law. Now, if sin is not imputed, that means your personal sins are not why you're dying. Yet we see, nevertheless, death reigned from Adam to Moses, even though personal sins weren't being imputed, because it was Adam's sin, and Christ had to deal with that. When Christ actually died, physically died, we then have the tearing of the veil. So this is over in Matthew chapter 15, verses 37 through 38. And Jesus cried with a loud voice and breathed his last. And then the veil of the temple was torn in two, because now the way is open. Because he's about to make a sacrifice, and there's nobody that can stop him.